way south through the jungle, the marshy, wet ground cooling your boots as the humid heat just, stuck to you. Eventually, you found during your travel a perfectly round section of ground with no vegetation growing on it. And when you brushed away the dirt, it revealed an iron disc with an arcane sigil representing the moon on it. That night, when the moonlight hit the disc disappeared. And those who were on watch discovered this fact via gravity. So the next night, you guys are all rested up during the day. You proceeded down into this little bunker, the bottom of which had several arcane sigils different from the moon and from each other, etched onto the floor, and two hallways leading out, one to the east, one to the west. When you went west, you found a room with a closed door, with no locking mechanism or opening mechanism visible, though on it was etched a image of a 8-star constellation of wheat bows, uh, to represent the good god Ita. The next room over, you found 3 baskets, one filled with dust, the other
Cyanide.
the other with coal, the last bits of wood. Down the hall from that room, you discovered a fountain with a large figure pouring like the water out of a jug into the fountain, which animated, and you guys defeated by splashing it with more water. The room after that is where the halls begin to turn to the south. But to the northeast, instead of a wall, was like a pier. And out from that pier was a large underground lake, about 200 feet across. In the center of that lake was a rocky outcropping, upon which you could see a glowing sword kind of just sticking up out of the rock. The water had small fish in it, including a couple of pufferfish, which the party found were a bit more feisty than they originally thought.
Still got it.
That you did. And at the bottom, a ship that had broken in half. The front half on the ground closest to you, the back half around, like on the other side of that rocky outcropping from the pier. Inside of which you observed 2 large eyes peering out at you from the darkness. And that is where you guys stand. On that pier. To the west of you, the hall leading back to the fountain. To the south, a hall leading to parts unknown. What do you guys want to do?
Uh, so we got the sword on an island in the big pool room. Um, wasn't one of the stars glowing on the star door back west when we ran
Yes,
back there to double check?
you did go back there to double check, and one of the stars in the constellation is glowing.
All right. Uh, well, let's try for the sword.
You want to pull the sword from the stone?
Yes. Under has put a trope in front of me. I have no choice. I must engage.
I know, I want to so bad.
Under.
Okay. So how are you getting there?
Swim.
you would have swum in the water with the killer pufferfish and the 2 eyes in the deep.
I don't breathe, so I was probably just gonna walk along the bottom, swim along.
But by the 2 eyes in the deep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the eyes.
The eyes. The eyes, mister.
Well then, what do you suggest there? High speed, get us a boat.
Is there a boat?
No. Well, there is like the 2 halves of a boat at the bottom of the
Mr.
lake.
Grimm looks down and goes, "Yeah, if you want to go get it."
All right, we'll dredge up the boat.
That
All right.
requires going in the water. Didn't you say you didn't want to go in the water?
How far to the walls of this chamber?
So the pier, like at the end of the left, like where is the masonry walls of the dungeon end, and the cavernous walls of the underground lake begin with like a almost right angle as they head away. Kind of like this.
And the island is out in the middle there?
Yeah, it's off that clip, but yes. And it's about
Alrighty.
100 feet from the pier to the island.
Looking along the edges here, what's the distance between the wall and the island? Like if we were to move across the wall.
It'd be about 50 feet from the wall to the island at the smallest. The lake is 200 feet across from where you are, 100 feet to that island, 100 feet to the back. But it's only about 100 feet wide. It's kind of like an oval shape.
All right, and how does the ceiling here curve?
Similarly, like it starts about 10 feet above you, kind of arcing up to the highest point being above this rocky outcropping, maybe 50 feet or so above the ground, and then arcing back down towards the back, where it then meets the water.
Well, I've got 10 pythons and a pretty good amount of rope. I can only assume that Mr. Grimm has more rope.
I have more rope.
Awesome. Then under, I should like to go along the side of the lake, kind of up the wall, in order to, as much as I can, have a descending angle upon the island. One second. This is a terribly made diagram. So my goal here is to diagonally kind of ascend as high as I can, put a python in there, drop rope so that we can swing and get to the island without getting in the water.
Okay. And how many batons do you guys have?
10. At least I do.
30.
Okay. Well, so 40 total would be enough. more than enough, but 10 wouldn't be.
This is why I bring 40.
Yeah, yeah, you
30.
guys got plenty of rope.
I have 400 feet of silk.
Yeah. So you run your line, kind of holding yourself against the wall. Go up this arcing dome of a cavern, dropping part of the last of the rope down there. And you can descend that rope towards the end and begin swinging yourself back and forth, back and forth. And Hebron, I assume this is you doing this, trying to land on the island?
Oh, 100%.
All right, then I will need a acrobatics check as you let go of the rope to try to land on it.
Blessed be the dice.
All right. So you guys watch Hebron just kind of swing back and forth, letting go, doing like, backflip, and just sticks like right next to this glowing sword, sticking the landing. There's a little box to the right, and even the Russian judge looks impressed.
Impressing the Russian judge is not easy.
All right, so Hebron, is anybody else going to join Hebron, or is it just going to be him over there?
I watch.
Okay.
I have bag of pretzels.
Oh, what's the distance between me and the end of the rope?
About 25 feet.
Alrighty.
So you're standing here like on this rocky outcrop, and the sword sticking up. It looks to be, embedded down into the rock. At least you would think so. It's hard to tell because there's, like, I don't know, maybe 30 or so skulls that just kind of make up the floor of this island.
Oh, ominous.
The sword's gently glowing, casting like a dim light around you.
What kind of skulls?
Make a medicine check.
The dead kind?
They appear to be humanoid. Like, you don't really see any monstrous-looking skulls. But you're having, without the ears and stuff to kind of give it away, you're not really sure which ones are human, elf, dwarf, etc.
Ah, all are equally skeletal.
It's also odd that there are no body parts. Like, it's just skulls.
Hey guys, it's all skulls here.
Couldn't agree more. No brain to be found on the whole island.
Cheeky, Mr. Grimm, cheeky.
Munches pretzel.
All right. So in that case, Hebron's going to pull out a couple of items from his pack. Let's see here. We got the ball of bag of caltrops. We've got another sword. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it out. I'll measure it to this the sword here, and then I'm gonna draw the sword.
All right.
Like I'm about to do some Indiana Jones shit and fuck it.
All right, yeah. So you reach and grab the sword. As you pull it up, like, it easily comes up about an inch, and you hear the sound of like a mechanical click. And then, if you want to continue pulling, I need a strength athletics check from you. Okay, yeah. As you like pull it up an inch, there's like a click, and then just like twang as you just pull this glowing long sword out. You see this little spring go flying, lands in the water with a little ploosh about 10 feet away.
Good job, you broke it.
As the water in front of you, that is away from the pier, begins to bubble and froth.
Mm-hmm.
How you planning on getting back?
So, don't worry, I believe I have a solution to that.
There's no time for chemistry.
Under, is there still any swinging left on that rope?
No. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit. It's moving like 3 or so inches.
All right. So let's and how high above the water is it?
About 5 feet or so. The end of it is, anyway.
All right. So what I'll be doing then is that long? Hold on. Does that have long enough haft? No, that does not have a long enough haft. All right. So in that case, then what I'll just do is I'll take the rope I do have
Mm-hmm.
and lasso the other rope a bit.
So you want to throw your rope below this rope and like try to lasso the end of this rope with your rope.
Well, honestly, I can use the grappling hook end for this, but the idea is swing it wide so that the rope I'm trying to hit gets caught in the middle of its dropped length, which should allow at least a small amount of entanglement with another rope. If there's an appropriate weight on the end, so that I can try to pull it towards me. This wouldn't be enough that it's not like I'm tying the ropes together, but enough that I can get more of a swing going on the main rope.
Sure. Now this is very important. So you're basically going to have to like rotate with this rope, kind of like a shot put, if I understand, or like a hammer toss.
Mm-hmm.
Are you rotating clockwise or counterclockwise?
Counterclockwise.
Okay. So as the water's bubbling and frothing, you play out some rope real quick, you begin spinning around. And as it comes back around to the north, after going to the south, you hear like a clink skirt as the ropes. You can see like the grappling kind of goes off, kind of high, like it hits something. As you see this extremely large crab. I mean, this is a huge beast. Unsubmerge, clacking its two pincers, one of which has your rope kind of hanging and wrapped around it. The all the while you can just hear like it's almost like it's exhaling, just going as it comes up. So yeah, your hammer throw got a little interrupted there.
But it's currently attached to the crab.
It did like wrap itself around like part of the its left pincer.
Hmm. If I attempted to, given the positions here, swing off that pincer to get to the other rope, does that seem viable based on the angles and heights involved?
No.
Okay.
He was coming up while you were doing your hammer throw, and because you went the long way relative to him, he emerged and then your rope hit him rather than you swing the rope over him before he came up.
All right.
That's why I asked about clockwise, counterclockwise, because it mattered.
That's fair.
So yeah, your rope hit him, and your rope, like if you consider the rope you're targeting at the 9 o'clock position, your rope is currently wrapped around the crab's left, your right, at the 12 o'clock position.
Hmm. In that case, I do believe I shall do some platforming. I'm getting on the crab.
Okay, so you're just jumping on the crab with your sword?
No, 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 no. If my grappling hook's grappled his claw, I shall swing onto it like a leg or something.
Okay, okay.
I am boarding the crab.
Tommy. Okay, make a strength athletics check as you swing onto this crab. All right, yeah, you easily swing onto it, landing on top of its shell, kind of just getting a grip pretty easily. As the claws begin swinging over you, like it's trying to get you off, as you hear this raspy voice going, it's on me, get it off, get it off, get it off. And I think we're rolling initiative at this point.
How far are we from this little shit show?
110 feet.
That's the closest we can get, or that's where we start?
That's where you start. Like, you have to use standing on the pier 100 feet out to the island, and then the crab's on the other side of the island. As if it came out of the back end of the ship and just arose to the top.
Yeah.
So, which might very well be in range of you, so you guys should probably roll as well.
Yep. Hey, mister. Mister.
What? I'm here. I was rolling. Shit.
You didn't do it fast enough.
All right, well, Giuseppe, yes, you saw this gigantic crab emerge. Two eyes kind of just glowing in the darkness. It appears Hebron has mounted the crab in an aggressive manner. What would you like to do?
He has mounted the crab in an aggressive manner.
Aggressive? I'm just parkouring off of it
Why?
to get to the rope.
Okay. I will. Is the crab aggressive to him? Is it trying?
Well, you can see this crab swinging its large claws on top of it as if trying to scrape him off, though the joints just can't quite get low enough to hit him.
Oh, this is comedy. This is base comedy. I want to sit here and watch this for a second. I'm just
Okay.
gonna hold my action to watch this because he's climbing on the back of this giant crab and it's only attacking him. Oh no. This is too fun to watch. I'm watching. And I passed her.
All right, Grim.
Well, my question to you is the crab aware of me?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will shoot a guiding bolt at it. Upcast to 3rd level.
Okay, roll to hit. That hits.
Oh, a little tiny bit of radiant damage.
Yeah, so the crab begins glowing as he gets pelted by Grim. Hebron, you hear the crab go, as it gets hit. Anything else, Grim?
Nope. The Thing Cleric still lacks his bonus action.
Yep. All right, Hebron, you're on the back of this crab.
All right. If I manage to get onto my original descending rope and scurry up to the ceiling, would that put me out of range of the crab?
That would be about 40 feet above the water. So you would imagine so, unless the crab can fly.
The crab just stretches out his legs and stares me down.
Is that what you would like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the crab as a launch board and get on to the rope.
Okay. Well, give me a strength athletics check for doing the little bit of parkour maneuvering as he's swinging his claws. As he's swinging the claws like above you, so you got to time this right. All right. Okay, yeah. So you kind of timing your jump, you quickly spring up, hit one of the joints, and just kind of kick off of it, heading for the rope. He will take his attack of opportunity though to try to hit you with a claw. Now,
You can
now
try?
that yeah, he can try.
Oh,
Yeah, just you just hear a swish behind you as the claw just goes through where you previously were, and you grab the rope, and you're now, dangling on it. And you said you climb up to the top.
yeah.
All right, so you are 40 feet below the, above the water. Anything else?
Yes, with this sword I have pilfered in hand, I shall look at the crab and go, "Ha ha! I win!" I've got your sword. That means I win. And that'll be all.
Yeah, the crabs kind of points at you. You're supposed to answer the riddle. He's like shaking a claw at you.
I thought he was gonna do the return the.
There's riddles?
This is the test of wisdom. What? Yes, there's a riddle. As you can see him still trying to get the he's swinging one of his claws up and down, trying to get the rope and grappling hook off of it. Like imagine someone who walks through spiderweb and shaking their limbs trying to get the spiderweb off. That's what he's doing with your rope and grappling hook at the moment.
Well, it would seem as if I have seriously misunderstood the purpose of this trial. You know what? Heberon's an honorable man. I'll toss the sword back to the island. If there's supposed to be a riddle, we got to do the riddle. It's only sporting.
Yeah, you can see the crab all just staring at you, gently reaches over with its claw, stands the sword back up and starts gently tap 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 as it just pounds it back into the crevice.
One of the springs popped out in the water. Sorry about that.
Well, it's not like it's been maintained in a while. As he lets go and the sword sort of just slides and tilts a little in the slot. And the crab's kind of good enough. So on the pier, Giuseppe and Grimm, you can definitely hear language, but from 100 feet away with the distortion caused by this large echoing cavern, you can't actually understand what's being said over there. Though you do see Heberon toss the sword back to the crab's island, where it then stands it back up and kind of taps it down into
Well,
the rock.
obviously he's being mind controlled. I shoot again.
Who do you shoot?
Hmm. No, I'm joking. Everyone would throw away a weapon. He's being mind controlled. Nobody.
No, that's. I suppose that's a fair line of reasoning. I did murder a player character once because they were being too incautious. Wait, so what are you doing?
Nothing. Just watching.
Okay. So The crab looks at you, Hebron, and it then like looks at the sword, looks at you. What the hell?
What? Well, what?
What are they teaching wizards these days? Assume the position so that we can get on with this trial.
Oh, yeah. No, those are my siblings that are wizards. I'm not a wizard. I'm
You
but a
are
humble fighter
here
man.
in the Wizardling Masters Trials. That, as he pointed claw at you, makes you a wizard. Now assume the position. As he gestures back to the sword.
All right, in that case, I shall swing down to the island. Oh, right. And Hebron will shout back to the party, "Hey, guys, it's some kind of wizard trial."
Well, that ain't any good. We don't have any wizards.
Apparently,
Name's
I
a Blizzard
qualify.
Kyle.
What? All right, Under. I shall assume the position.
Right, yeah, so you like grab the sword. But you don't but as you grab it, the crab kind of holds claws out in like a vaguely threatening manner, clacking them, and it speaks and says, "To pass this trial, you must answer a riddle. Answer correctly, you claim your prize. Incorrectly, and I claim your head. I point without fingers. I strike without arms. And I run without feet. What am I?"
Under, could you type that up?
Sure.
A clock.
Correct, young mageling. Now claim your prize and leave me. You are annoying.
I shall claim the sword.
Yeah, as you pull the sword out, as the crab slowly like, descends back into the water, you can clearly see he's purposefully exhaling to make it like frothing and bubbling, dramatically as he just sinks away into the water, leaving you standing there.
I make sure to really take the time to appreciate his showmanship and the effort he put into this. And I get back to my room to get the originally planned method.
So, yeah, he took your rope and grappling hook. He didn't get it off his claw yet. He just took it down with him. So, what's your plan now?
Okay. All right. What I'll do is take my 10-foot pole and no, that wouldn't be enough. Fuck it. I just swim.
To the pier or to the rope?
Actually, no, hold on. What's running jump?
Strength, I believe. Like your strength score.
So 16 feet. Yeah, I'll just get over to the cave wall and climb up and then, shimmy back across.
Okay. Yeah, you jump in the water, swim over, and you shimmy back across. You notice that the glowing sword seems to like frighten the fish, and they stay away from you when you jump in.
That was the sword and not me jumping into the water.
Well, if the giant pufferfish was any indication last time, no, jumping into the water will not frighten that fish away.
Oh god, it's this psychopath. He killed Steve. All right. Yeah. Yeah, then I'll just climb back across.
Okay, yeah, and you make your way back to the pier. You leaving your rope and pythons here?
No, I'll retrieve them.
Okay.
Especially because I think they're mostly Mr. Grimm's pythons. He was kind enough to lend them to my cause. So, I guess with those retrieved, either of you know identify?
The identify isn't here. Burger.
Damn. Fuck it. I'll spend an hour spending time with the sword.
Okay. Grim and Giuseppe will get a short rest while you play with your new light up sword.
Just a quick question, Gilbert.
Yeah?
Wouldn't it make more sense in character, even though Giuseppe's not a full frontline, for Giuseppe to attune to the other magical sword, since you kind of already have the one?
Yeah. It was more as an insulation against risk.
Do either of
As
us
I
care about
understand.
Giuseppe's survivability?
Do what?
Yeah, if it did something horrible, and my understanding is he has a slightly worse saves and HP than me, so
Okay.
that, and if there's anything weird and funky, it'd be easier to take me out than take him out. But yeah, no, the idea is that we would, wait, Giuseppe, you use strength, yeah?
No. I am a dex based. I mean, I have strength because I have a weird stat build, but yes.
Okay. I mean, do you want to be the one that attunes to it, or do you want me to check it out first?
Magic sword, yeah, I'll attune to it. I have no problem.
Right? Yeah, you tune to it.
Okay. I will take the sword and attune to it. I already have a magic dagger. That's what I use normally to attack.
Okay. So you spend an hour playing with the sword, and you do figure out what it does. And in fact, it does not require attunement.
Oh, okay.
As this is what it does.
Oh, it's a light sword. Oh.
Very
Is it
handy.
short or long?
This is a long sword. It used to be a scimitar, but several of those skulls were from lawyers that came to claim it.
Well, it happens.
What is it? A sword of shine?
Well, without using something like identify, you actually don't know what the name of the sword is. You just kind of figure out through experimentation what it does.
Ah, God.
Alrighty. So far, we're quite successful.
Yeah, so you're just standing there on this pier. The hour has passed. If Giuseppe spent the hour playing with the sword, that means Heberon and Grim would have gotten the short rest.
I didn't need a short rest anyway, so it's okay.
I didn't either.
Well, unless you
Heberon's
guys were
the
doing
only one
something,
that
though. I
technically
mean,
needed one.
I did some cool Tomb Raider shit. I need to stretch out my calves. I feel kind of bad for that crab.
I mean, the really funny thing is the waste of the third spell slot.
yeah. I mean, and I should just so you know, Grim. Like, while that did hurt him, it did not. It was not a significant injury.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I was more providing support if Heberon decided he wanted to swing and not talk, as is tradition.
He's a talking crab in a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty trustworthy. Okay. Okay, that's that's a fair that's a fair assessment.
At first, don't bother with the questions.
Fucking Gilbert over here, incapable of trusting any humanoid NPC. Talking dungeon crab? Of course. He mentioned a riddle. He's on the level. All right. Well, I believe we have another section we have to go to.
Well, there are two hallways out of this room. To the west leads back to the fountain. To the south, parts unknown.
I think we should go to parts unknown.
I mean,
Either
that
way.
sounds like a thing for me. I'm all down for that. Let's go.
Okay. So you guys head down the 10-foot wide hall. Goes about 30 feet. Begins to open up into in this case, 40 by 40 foot room. Across the room, you can see another hallway leading south. There is a doorway to the east with a closed wooden door. A handle clearly visible. It's not another one of these puzzle doors. And to the west, another hallway. Filling most of the space in the room, except for like a 5-foot wide stone walkway going around the perimeter. The center of the room appears to be like has like a footstep up into an area that appears to be filled with dirt. In the very center of the room is a tall, like nearly brushing the ceiling, tree, which appears dead. Around the tree, kind of scattered about this area, are four other what used to be shrubberies, also dead. And like right in front of the tree is like this old, kind of worn-looking stone bench. A small path goes winding across the dirt area, and you think that if you were to look at it from the west, it might even give like this nice like two-tier approach to it, the way the shrubberies are laid out.
Classy. Well, I guess that means it's time to scope out the room, investigate it, and enjoy the shrubberies.
Well, do your thing.
Okay. So you're just kind of investigating the room?
Oh, yeah.
Give me an investigation check.
Am I able to get guidance?
Yeah.
Okay. So you start checking out the room. As you kind of probe a bit, you realize that this isn't like a planter box sitting on top of the floor. It was built in. The dirt actually looks to be about 5 feet deep or so when you probe it. Though the dirt also appears to be kind of dry, like it crunches underfoot, like walking through a desert. The shrubberies are very clearly dead; they're just twigs, and this bench in front of this dead-looking tree, which also has like no leaves on it. Um, as you're examining the stone bench, you can see that there's a couple of like worn footprints on it. Um, as you kind of brush at them, you realize that they're mud. Like it's dried mud that's been here for a long time. It just brushes away like dust. But from the positioning of the feet, it's like someone was standing on the stone bench, reaching towards something on the tree. Though when you look, you don't see anything obvious there.
I shall stand on the footprints and reach to the same spot.
Okay. So you reach to the same spot, and as you do, the front of the tree, with like this large creak, just opens up into this void in front of it, which then attempts to close down on you. Does a 21 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Alright, this tree bites down on you for 28 points of piercing damage, and you are grappled. You're like top half just stuck in this tree, which is now very clearly, has its mouth kind of grabbing you. And the rest of you would see that these bushes have begun moving of their own accord, and you guys should roll initiative.
I'm deeply concerned by my high rolls tonight.
Mister, you rolling? All right, Giuseppe. So you and Grimm, from the sound of it, stayed outside the planter box. As you saw Hebron kind of get up on this bench, kind of the tree opening up as if with magic in front of him. And when he looked inside, it bit down on him. The bushes are now also moving of their own accord. What do you do?
Fire. Let me see. I'm trying to see what I can do. I am going to draw my weapon and my whip, and I am going to attack the trees.
Okay,
That's
so
holding the one that's holding
what is the reach of your whip?
10 feet.
Okay, so the tree's currently 30 feet from you.
Okay.
And to get to within 10 feet of that tree, you'd be putting yourself right like in melee with two of these bushes.
Oh well, then I'll move within 10 feet of the bushes and attack one of them first.
Okay, yeah, so you just got to move like 10 feet to get within 10 feet of the two bushes. Who rolled it?
Well, I'll be God bless it.
Oh. That misses.
Yeah, you think? I guess I'm done.
Okay.
Fuck.
Hebron, you are currently inside this tree. It is dark. You are grappled. It smells vaguely of rotting wood.
Well. A deep subject. I reach to the back of my belt and I pull out my crowbar.
Okay.
I open his mouth.
All right, give me a strength athletics check with advantage. All right, yeah, as you kind of just lean on this crowbar, you can hear the wood creaking as you pry its mouth open, enough for you to remove yourself.
Alrighty, yeah. Pull myself out. Was that an attack or an action?
That was just an action.
Alrighty. In that case, what I shall do next is action surge, disengage, and walk away 30 feet.
Okay, which direction?
To the party.
Okay, yeah, so you just move the 30 feet, putting it to the edge of this planter. So you're basically between Grimm and Giuseppe. Giuseppe is behind you and in line with you in the tree. You can see that the tree is moving on its own power.
Of course, it wouldn't be much of an evil magic tree if it couldn't come after those of us who are, blessed with superior meat legs.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, yeah, second wind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that bite may be wooden, but it packs a punch. Okay, Grimm.
How far is the big tree?
Be like 35 feet from you.
All right. And how many of the bushes are within 50, how close are the bushes to it?
The bushes were kind of scattered around it. There is one bush within 5 feet of it. Two of the bushes are within 10, and the last one is within 15. That 15 one and one of the 10 ones are the two that Giuseppe was cracking his whip at.
All right. 40-foot cube. Can I get all of them?
You can get all of them and the big tree.
All right. Slow. Wisdom saves.
Ah, very nice. All right, let me do the bushes first.
The 18 passes.
And the tree.
The 4 does not pass.
Indeed.
One of the bushes is
Still
right.
fast. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Yeah, I back up. Not out of the room, but just distance.
Mm-hmm. Sure. How far do you want to go?
Up to 30.
Well, you're already at 35 from the tree.
Yeah, I mean, I want to move 30 more up to 30 as far away without leaving the room.
Well, 35 is the entrance to the room. Like, you're at the entrance. Behind you is the hallway.
Is it straight shot back down the
Yes.
hallway?
Like, you could go 30
Okay.
feet back, which would actually put you at the exit of the pier room.
I'll go 15.
Okay.
Don't want to go that far.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, you back up. The tree's turn. Tree's slow. Thud, 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 as it just gets a little bit closer to Giuseppe. We should put him 15 feet from Giuseppe. Right, yeah, Giuseppe 20. He's only going to move that 5. And he's going to lash out with one of his roots at you, Giuseppe. Does a 16 hit you?
Negative.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you deflect the grasping root coming up at you. That is all he can do on his turn because it's slow, so he's going to make a wisdom save. He is still slow. The bushes. Well, those two bushes get closer to you, Giuseppe, one of which appears to be moving pretty fast, the other pretty slow, and they're both going to basically scratch at you. Does a 19 hit you?
No.
Okay. The other two are both slow, and they're slowly like following the tree. At the end of their turns, they make their wisdom save. And I believe all those 3 are still slowed. And Giuseppe.
My turn. I'm gonna hit
Yes.
that bush again.
Okay. You're going for the slow one or the fast one?
The one, whichever one's closest to me.
They're both in melee with you.
Go with the fast one.
Okay. Roll to hit them. Miss.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Hebron.
Well, apparently, since I am a mageling now, according to the giant, riddle crab, I cast Firebolt.
Targeting.
I'll start pitching alchemist fires at what do you guys think? The big one or the little fuckers? You know, the big one smelled of rotting wood. I'm gonna pitch the alchemist fires at him.
Okay. Well, let's see. Alchemist fire. Blah blah blah. Make a ranged attack against the creature or object as an improvised weapon. So go ahead and make your improvised ranged throw. All right. The 10 misses. The 16 will hit the tree.
All right. Well, he's partly catching fire.
Yeah, on a hit, the target takes D4 fire damage at the start of each of its turn. So it's now on fire.
Am I in melee with it yet?
No, you ran away from it.
I know, but I know it came closer.
Yeah, no, it's like 25 feet away from you.
All right, I'll back up to be right next to Mr. Grimm.
Okay. Anything else?
Might as well make a work to get into melee. No, that's it.
All right, Grim.
All right. Well, I'm concentrating on that. So let's I'll just do Sacred Flame, so Dex saves.
On.
Big guy.
Okay.
Don't forget the -2.
Thank you. I had forgotten.
Good combination, slow and Sacred Flame.
Mm-hmm.
Chip damage for Radiant. 5 Radiant damage, and that's it for me. Although I back up another, like, 7 feet, so that I'm between Hebron, or Hebron's between me and it.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. At the start of you guys' turn, or its turn, it takes some fire damage, and it burns. And yeah, it is gonna send another feeler out towards Giuseppe. Misses. Wisdom save against slow. It is still slow. The bushes. Well, the 2 bushes that were behind the tree, Giuseppe, you can clearly see are now running away, away from both the tree and you. And the ones in front of you are attacking.
Okay.
They both miss.
Wow, this is not going well for nobody.
What's the DC on slow?
17 for me.
17. So those 3 that are slow are still slow. And Giuseppe, yeah.
All right, I guess I'm gonna hit one of them that's not running away, I suppose.
Okay, do you want the fast one or the slow one in front of you?
The fast one.
All right, roll to hit.
He doesn't need an easy target.
Hit.
Is there anyone else in melee with it?
No. All right, yeah, you hit this bush, which just explodes in like twigs and flinders. It is gone.
Woohoo!
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, Hebron.
Well, I cast oil flask at the burning tree.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, well, you definitely hit the tree. So it looks like it takes an additional 5 points of fire damage at the start of its turn as it gets coated in oil. The fire just, lighting up like this whole tree. This whole tree is just now like covered in burning oil and wood.
All right, and then I pitch an alchemist fire at one of those shitty little fuckers that are menacing Giuseppe.
All right, roll to hit then. Nice.
What the fuck is up with these rolls tonight? I don't think I've rolled below a 13.
Yeah, as the bush in front of
Gonna
Giuseppe
die.
lights on fire. Anything else?
No, no, just Hebron will be reveling in a certain familial enjoyment of discount wizardry.
Yep. Grim.
Oh, more deck save from big guy. The only way he could have passed it.
Oh my god, there's just
19 would have
3
passed
nat
it.
20s in a row.
19 would have passed it too, technically. So yep, nothing else.
We've broken Bangbot. It's just 20 all the time now.
We're putting
That's-
the bang back in Bangbot.
All right, I'm sorry, Grim. What was that?
That's it.
Okay. Let's see. The start of this guy's turn. We'll do the big tree first. He burns for 8 more points of fire damage, and then the bush burns to ash. It is gone. The fire appeared to be especially effective against the bushes. And the tree is going to attempt a grasping attack at Giuseppe. Does a 21 hit Giuseppe? Minister? Guess he's not back yet. Well, we can handle that. Those two guys are running away from the big burning tree, and then it's Giuseppe's turn. Guess he's not back yet. Hebron.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, no, wait. Hebron.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, the tree doesn't get a whiz save. So, Mister, does a 21 hit Giuseppe's armor class?
Yes, a 21 will hit me.
Okay.
If I am.
Yeah, as that grasping root wraps around your ankle and grapples you, it then begins reeling you in. But you're not there yet. It gets a wisdom save. Because it's slow, it can't reel you in yet. Still slow. The other two bushes, Giuseppe, you can see, are at the other side of the room and now running down the hallway away from the burning tree. And then it is your turn. At the start of your turn, this grasping root is it's really painful as it crushes you. And you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okie dokie.
It is your turn. What would you like to do?
Kill this thing. Since I'm in close range, I'll use my dagger. Because it's magical.
Well, it hasn't moved you yet because of slow. It couldn't. I was just telling you, like you could feel it, starting to go that direction.
Oh, well then I can still hit it with my whip.
Yes. You'd have to move 5 feet closer, but yes, it's 15 feet away from you.
Oh, okay.
17 hits it.
Is anyone else in melee with it?
No.
$16 points of radiant and slashing damage.
All right, yeah. You guys hear the crack of the whip as you just bits of bark and wood go flying off. It is that hurt it. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, Hebron.
I cast fire, fire, fire on all the little bushes that are menacing Giuseppe.
There are no bushes currently menacing Giuseppe.
I cast fire, fire, fire against the giant fucking tree. Let's see. Alchemist fire doesn't go out unless he turns it off. So in that case, I'll be casting, in fact, enhance fire. Oil.
Well, he's already coated in oil, taking the additional 5. You hit him before with that.
True, but it only lasts 2 turns. I'm more attempting to refresh it by continuously soaking him in oil.
Yeah, that would work. It's an attack roll to hit him. Miss. There's a little pool of burning oil starts forming next to
That
him.
should be a 6. I don't know where I hit 9.
Okay.
But yeah.
So
it's
22. That's
yeah,
fine.
22.
22 easily hits him. More oil coats him. There's a flash of fire. Anything else?
No, that's all I got for now.
All right.
Actually, how far away is he?
Let's see. You went there. So that would be 15 to that. And then he is currently 45 feet from you.
All right, I'm going to move forward 25 feet.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything else?
No.
All right. Grim.
More dance from him. Dex save. Seven more radiant.
Okay. Yeah. Tree burns from your holy fire. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
All right. Well, start of the tree's turn. Takes 9 more points of fire damage. You can see he is now bloodied. As he uses his action, Giuseppe, to just reel you in closer. You are now directly being held against the burning tree. You are now also on fire. But that is all you can. That's all you can do because he is still slow. The other 2 bushes continue making their way away from people with fire because fuck those guys.
But they should be getting their whiz saves.
Yeah, they do.
They're just too afraid of fire.
I don't think they're going to fare well on those whiz saves.
They're not. All right, Giuseppe, at the start of your turn, you take a D4. Well, hold on. 2 things. One is you're grappled, so you take some bludgeoning. And you're on fire.
I'm on fire!
So you take 9 points of bludgeoning from the root wrapped around you and 2 points of fire damage because he's basically holding you up against his burning trunk. What do you do?
Ow! Can I get away from this fucker?
You're currently grappled, so you could use your action to attempt to escape the grapple. It is a strength athletics check.
Strength athletics. Where's my athletics? I'm gonna stab him with my dagger. Fuck it.
All right, roll to hit. Miss.
Son of a bitch. This is... Oh my god!
All right, Hebron.
All right. Distance to tree?
Let's see. It was 45. You said you moved 20, so it's 25 feet from you.
All right, moving to melee. Wielding that sword.
All right, you pull out your glowing sword, moving into melee. You can just feel the heat coming off of him.
He's got the glowing sword. I got the undead slayer.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
Is it undead?
No.
Rats.
No, a tree. 21 hits.
Well, you know, the tree can willow in misery.
Very good.
Yes, it's 1 hit.
1 hit, just 21.
I'll need a strength save, as it takes 13 magical slashing.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it'll trip.
Does that fail?
Holy shit. Something failing a strength save. Yeah, that fails.
So, yeah, you can just hear like that like creaking sound trees make as they just fall over. Yeah, this is burning trees now laying on its side, still holding Giuseppe up next to him.
Alrighty.
Anything else?
No, that's all I can do for now.
All right, Grim.
Continue the dex saves. More radiant damage. Hey, look, double digits.
All right, yeah, this tree is starting to look somewhat rough. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, well, on its turn, the tree will expend the remaining half of its movement to stand up, righting itself in front of you, Hebron. And then Giuseppe, it is going to open its maw and try to take a bite out of you. Oh, yeah, I forgot to roll its fire damage.
All right.
Burn, baby, burn.
All right, is a 25 hit Giuseppe.
Yeah.
All right, as it bites down on you for 21 points of bludgeoning damage.
I am unconscious.
Okay. That is unfortunate. Well, it is the start of your turn. You should make your death save. Wow. Okay, so that is one failure. And then because you are grappled and on fire, I assume you have more than 16 hit points as a maximum?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it couldn't kill you. You just take another failed death save, so you're at 2 fails.
Yeah.
Hebron, Giuseppe's kind of sticking out of this burning tree's maw. He's in
I feed him a health potion.
Okay. Yeah, you just feed Giuseppe a health potion. Roll it. All right, Giuseppe, you wake up with 5 hit points. You are still grappled and on fire.
So he just prolonged the inevitable. Okay.
Yeah. Anything else, Hebron?
Unfortunately, that's all I can really do right now. It's all action.
Okay. Grim?
I can see Giuseppe, and he's within 60 feet of me.
Yes.
All right. Upcast a healing word.
All right,
12 more
Giuseppe.
points, Giuseppe.
How much more?
12.
12.
All right. So I got a total of 17.
Yep. Anything else, Grim?
That was a bonus action. So as my action, I'll use the cantrip Sacred Flame. Dex save.
All right. The big tree is near death. That's it. All right. Start of its turn. Take some fire damage. Ha. Ha ha ha.
It dies.
The burning tree falls over, dead.
God, I love Alchemist Fire and Oil.
Let's see. So that would end this turn. Giuseppe, at the start of your turn, you would take 2 points of fire damage, though you would know you're out of combat, so you can just put it out now.
Yay!
And you guys are out of initiative. The smoldering remains of this tree just kind of sitting there sideways on the dirt.
I would like to claim its heart. Or what passes for a heart on a living tree.
Make a Arcana check. Yeah, you carve into it, and you get like right to the core of the tree, you know, the heartwood, and you you just pull out, you know, this like desiccated, you know, chunk of wood.
And heartwood added to inventory.
Mm-hmm.
My inventory shall be composed of 3 things and nothing else. Useful knickknacks for adventuring, weird loot, and collectibles.
Yeah, you're standing on this dirt box. The bushes are nowhere to be seen. The other two are at piles of ash. This tree's dead. To the west, you can now, you know, when you're now that you've got some time, you clearly see now standing on the dirt area. To the west, the hallway goes 30 feet to that central round room that you first entered in. To the east is a closed wooden door, and to the south is a hallway that looks to go 20 feet before turning to the west.
We did a thorough check of the room, yeah?
You did, yes.
Alright.
Yes,
What were
it
our
resulted
travel
in you
options again?
sticking your head into the tree.
Right. See, I was a little distracted by the fact that my head got eaten by a tree.
Right. So north would go back the way you came to the pier room. South is a hallway that, after 20 feet, turns to the west. You can't see around the corner. West is a 30-foot long hall that goes to that round room where you first entered this dungeon, with stairs going up to get out, and also the symbols carved on the ground.
We'll head that way and then keep going west until we get to the star door.
Okay. And just to finish it off real quick before you do leave this room, east is a closed wooden door. And you're going west, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys head west. It is a 100-foot diameter round room. Arcane sigils etched into the floor. One big one in the center. 3, close around it, spaced equally. And then outside of those 3, another 5 spaced equally. All 9 sigils are different from each other. Nothing happens as you walk across the room. You can clearly see up above you the moonlit sky. Spiraling stairs leading up there, 100 feet. Then you cross the room, 30-foot hall, to a 40 by 50-foot room. The dead remains of a humanoid on the ground. And at the far end of it, you can see this metal door. No visible opening mechanisms, etched into it is a constellation of Ita. Well, two Ita. It's the wheat boughs. There are currently, of the 8 stars in the constellation, 3 are glowing.
Yeah, that's definitely a time lock.
Is it? I think it's
It was 1, and then it was 3. First
yeah,
time
but
we
we've
looked at
also
it, the one was
completed
lit
3
up.
challenges. We've defeated the statue.
How much time has
We-
passed since we started? Down here today.
About 4 hours.
So, either.
Yeah, originally my thinking was we had to wait for the constellation to like move into the right position, kind of like the outside door. But I'm starting to think it might be completing trials.
Well, let's go get our subscription on. And not pay for a thing.
All right, yeah. Each of us have an email, and then we can always use 10-minute mail to get more free trials.
Well, there's a reason I have 60-something Gmail accounts. Because back in the day, you could make them really fucking easily. The fun thing is you can set them up to automatically email each other each year, so they can't be shut down by Google for being inactive. Anyway, so yes, let's go find more trials.
Okay, well, from this room, north, is the 10-foot wide, 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall that goes to a room with the 3 wicker baskets. To the south is another 10-foot wide hall that looks to go 20 feet and then turns to the east. East is back to the main central room.
Gilbert, did we accomplish anything in the wicker basket room, or did we just go through it?
We accomplished many things. Most of which involved tasting. One of which was cyanide.
Yes, but did we accomplish anything that felt like a trial?
I lived, so yes. Um, honestly, I don't know. I don't think so, given the fact that the first light that appeared was after the
Yeah.
the
Well, let's go back
statue
there, see
skipping
if we
one.
can figure out what kind of...
Don't lick the
Recheck
dust.
that room out.
Well, if you want to investigate the room again, it'd be an investigation check.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah. Not int-based. Me cleric.
Guidance?
Yes.
I still love that. Yes, the cleric is not int based. Fighter man, go do the investigation.
All right. So yeah, you look around. Again, these 3 wicker baskets are an older style of weaving, but just as valid. They are the weave that they've used are watertight. The westmost sack is filled with dust, which you know to contain cyanide. Hint of apples kind of wafting off of it. The central basket contains coal, and the eastern basket contains like really old, dried out wood. Like it's almost become petrified. It's just been sitting here.
Yep, I'll be right back. I gotta hit the restroom. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry. I said apples. I meant almonds for the first dust.
Well, either.
Well, has Gilbert returned?
Restroom. He didn't say if he was digging a latrine.
Hmm. Even odds, he sits down on the crapper and falls asleep.
He seems spry enough. For now.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No problem. So yeah, you guys are standing in this room. 3 wicker baskets. One of dust. Smells faintly of almonds. Not apples, I misspoke before. The central basket contains coal. The easternmost basket contains very old wood.
There's no glyphs or runes or sigils on the wall anywhere in here. It's just the baskets in an empty room.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, Gilbert, what do you think?
I'm thinking. Under.
Yes.
What are the trees that we burned? Actually, hold on. I have the heartwood right here. I'm gonna smell the heartwood and then smell the petrified tree and the charcoal.
Uh, the coal is bituminous coal. It's mineral coal, not charcoal.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
But give me a perception check if you're going to smell that heartwood anyway. I mean, it smells faintly of apples.
Like an apple tree or like a cyanide tree?
Like an apple tree.
Hmm.
Cyanide smells like almonds. That's why I said I misspoke about that basket.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Almonds. Mhm. All right. When in doubt, time to begin the experimentation process. I will take a couple of samples of each out
Okay.
and begin messing with them. So I will first attempt to ignite a piece of coal and then try to burn the wood basket sample.
Okay. Both burn readily.
All right. Using the same burning coal, I'll take a little bit of the uh, almond powder that hurts my insides, and I'll do a little pinch of that onto the flame.
Okay. Yeah, you do a little bit of pinch of that onto the flame. I mean, it kind of hits the hot stuff. I don't think this material would burn. Probably would. I mean, yeah, so it would burn away.
Hmm. Is there anything else in this room?
Nope. Just the way you came in, the way you guys left before to go to the fountain, and the 3 baskets.
Hmm. What does the burned, nearly petrified wood smell like?
It would be really subtle for wood that old. Make another perception check. It also smells faintly of apples.
Hmm. Do I know what year these apples were?
No.
I was making a joke about the people who can like sniff wine. Um. All right.
Oh,
So we got.
yeah, what would that make you, like a fruit talier?
All right. So we've got some kind of petrified apple tree, some earth coal, and poisonous powder that smells of almonds. Hmm. I'm going to try grinding each of them down and mixing them together and lighting it on fire.
Okay. What are you using to grind them down with?
Well, let's see. I have a variety of metal implements. Um, I've got hand axes, hammers, pythons, knives, spears, lead bullets, whetstones. I have plenty of high tensile strength items, is what I'm getting at.
Yes, but that doesn't answer my question. Is what are you doing to grind them up?
Crushing them.
With
We'll use the hammer for the coal, and
so you're just setting it on the ground and hitting it with a hammer?
well, yeah, I don't have any furniture, so yeah.
Okay.
We're doing literal cave floor alchemy here.
Mm-hmm.
A laboratory setup is too fancy for us right now. We must do it like the first mages. Snorting cyanide dust off a cave floor.
Uh-huh. Okay. So you put the coal on the ground, you smash it up with your hammer, you're going to turn it into a coal dust. The wood?
Yeah, we'll smash that apart. It sounds
Okay.
like it's mostly petrified, so it should smash pretty readily.
It does. It does. It just kind of collapses into sawdust and like wood fibers. And you're just combining it, the coal dust and the almond dust together and burning it.
Mm-hmm.
How much of each? Like one chunk of coal, one chunk of wood, and how much dust?
I guess we'll go with like one, handful.
Okay. So you throw a handful of this all together. You begin burning it. Yeah. So this dark smoke just kind of begins burning off all this stuff. The fumes are fairly noxious, and I'm gonna need con saves from you guys.
Mr. Giuseppe.
What's that? What do we need?
He burned a bunch of stuff, and the fumes in the room are pretty nasty. I need a con save against poison.
So far, it's only fitting I rolled the lowest. I'm closest to exposure.
Well, Grim and Giuseppe pass and take half damage. Hebron does not. You guys begin coughing, your eyes watering. And Hebron, you take 7 points of poison damage. Grim and Giuseppe take 3.
Is there still a fume risk here?
No, it was only a small amount of the stuff, so while it fills the room, it then fairly quickly dissipates. The material having essentially burned away.
All right. So burning the coal, the wood, and the powder separately from the three has no negative consequence, but burning a sample of each. How many samples do I have remaining?
There are. Let's see. You burned that piece and this piece. So that would be about 18 pieces of coal, 18 pieces of wood, and about a gallon of dust.
All right. So seeing that you know uh, a piece of wood, a piece of coal, and a handful of dust produces a toxic mixture when burned. Um, and kind of having familiarized himself with the individual samples when they burn. I mean, Heberon's not trained in some of this stuff, but he's not exactly stupid. Is he able to guesstimate um, a smaller uh, combination or ratio that he could try testing rather than the 1-1 handful?
I mean, I suppose. What ratio would he use?
I'm not certain. That's why I'm asking based off the properties he saw when testing individually compared to the group test, if there's any insight he gleans.
The insight you would glean is that was more. You threw more dust in at this time. The insight was you had a greater material volume here. Before, you basically had a chunk of burning coal you sprinkled some dust on. You used the word sprinkle, so it was like a pinch.
I gotcha.
This you said was a fistful of dust, which you know is toxic. So your insight, based on your mental stats, generally be that the more of the toxic material you burn, the more of a toxic fume that is produced.
And when the wood burned, what did the wood smell of? Like,
Smoke.
was there any? Okay, just regular smoke.
I mean, this is old wood. When you examine the wood closely and smelled it real closely, you get a hint of apples. Old wood like this, when you burn it, is not going to smell like much of anything besides smoke.
You guys have any ideas?
I just no, not really. You pretty much did every combination I can think of, other than changing the ratios.
Yeah, but
2
I'm
coal,
trying to.
1 wood, 1 poison.
I suppose I could up the poison. I don't see
Oh
what
yeah,
upping the wood
that's
would
gonna.
do. Yeah, right. Like I don't see what upping the coal or the wood would do. Because the wood's about as dried out as it can get, so can't do much with. Hmm. What are some uses for this kind of stuff that we would have in a? No, it's not. All so it's a bunch of wizard shit.
Well, this is the Wizardly Test Tower, so
I would assume you'd need to be a wizard, right?
What would a different Septimus do? I mean, only one of these is a traditionally transmutable material, and that's the wood. Hmm. I'm gonna grind up a bit of coal.
So another piece.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a piece. I'm only gonna grind up a little bit of it.
Okay, sure.
Hmm.
Get a little bit of coal dust.
And then I'll grind up a bit of the wood.
Okay. Got a little bit of sawdust.
Hmm. I'll produce a little bit of water with my alchemist jug.
Fresh water or salt?
Fresh.
Okay.
It hasn't been a day, so it can only do fresh still.
Yes, that's right. You used it on the fountain.
I'll mix the coal dust and the wood dust into the water,
Okay.
and then try how much of the powder did I consume when I licked it the first time?
Like you dipped your finger in and then lit your fingertip.
All right, I'll do that same amount, and I'll pinch that into the container of water, coal dust, and sawdust.
Okay.
Heberon has a limited understanding of the esoteric, and so if burning it does one thing, obviously dissolving it in liquid should do something different.
Well, none of it is dissolving. It is just sort of floating in this slurry that you've made.
I don't think Heberon necessarily knows enough to appreciate that difference. And I'll try imbibing that.
Okay. So you drink the sawdust coal cyanide slurry, and I need
It's only a pinch of cyanide.
Yeah. Oh, I still need to con save against poison.
I mean, are we like taking bets, Grim, to see when he's gonna fall over dead?
Grim pulls out the ledger. Sure.
Good. You only take half of this. As you take 25 points of poison damage.
Unpleasant.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's very pleasant to us. We're enjoying the hell out of this.
All right. So even diluted, the powder maintains its potency, and there's no connection between coal dust or the wood dust, near as I can tell. Are these weaved baskets made out of the same material as the tree?
I they're made out of wicker. From my understanding, that is essentially thin strips of wood that have been woven together.
That's right.
So, in that sense, yes, they are wooden.
I like the basket.
Which one?
We'll go with the coal one and the tree one. I'm not gonna lick the poison one.
Okay. Yeah, you lick it. It's like licking a popsicle stick. So is the wood one.
Oh damn!
Hmm.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm watching In and Out. I'm
You
watching
did
WrestleMania.
drink it.
Okay, so we've tried burning, we've tried mixing and ingestion. We've tasted
I didn't know
separately.
Hebron was French.
Hmm.
You keep saying we.
Well, he's about to be past tense.
I mean, we ain't doing shit. We're sitting here watching you.
It was the royal we. Um. Hmm. Under, I'd like to take a short rest, if that's all right.
Yeah, you can wait around an hour. Nothing happens during that hour, and you guys accomplish a short rest.
Well,
You
I'm gonna
see,
go look
even
at
the
the.
DM, even the DM wants to see you keep poisoning yourself. That's why he didn't give us no encounters. He just wants to see if you gonna keep.
I'm gonna go
poisoning
look at the constellation that we were debating whether it was trials or clock time. Now that we've spent an hour just hanging out.
Okay. You go back and look at the door. There are currently 4 out of 8 stars lit on the door.
So I go back to Hebron and I let him continue experimenting, knowing that it's time based. Without telling him.
Yeah, we have a habit of doing that. Apathy is big in this party.
Well, I don't want to interrupt his flow state. He's onto
Hey,
something.
apathy is big
I
in this
swear.
group. It's in every party we're in. We're apathetic.
All right, so the basic materials aren't yielding any results. I want to pull out some of the camping equipment.
Okay.
All right, so I'll use the coal to start a small fire. What I'm going to do is produce a bit more water, and I shall. Got to think of this shit like a wizard. Do any of you guys have lead on your person?
No.
No.
Okay, that rules out one of the options. Okay, so we don't have. Actually, wait. Aren't most of bullets made out of lead?
For like a sling?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we've got lead, we've got gold and silver coins.
Platinum, copper.
Mm-hmm. All right. So since some of these tests haven't worked, what I'm going to try doing is boiling the water with the coal and then applying the poison powder to the water. And I'll test by placing a sample. I'll do these independently over time. Once the water's up to a boil, apply the poison powder and then test samples of lead, silver, gold, and platinum inside of the cooking pot.
Oh, Okay. What do you mean by test? You mean like you're just dipping them in it?
Submerging and watching.
Okay. So yeah, you make this poison slurry again. You get it boiling, and you sequentially put these chunks of metal into it. Um, Nothing really seems to happen to them.
All right, swap out the liquid, uh, get it to a boil, and then test grounded up wood and grounded up coal.
Okay, yeah, they go into the slurry. It's frothing around a bit, makes it kind of an ugly looking mixture, but nothing otherwise than that seems to happen.
All right, I'll put some poison powder into each of those test batches.
Okay. Again, they look like a somewhat ugly looking slurry, but you know, there's otherwise no reaction.
Okay. Yeah. What does Hebron know about coal?
Um, it, it it's a fuel source, especially popular with blacksmiths. But you can also burn it for heat or for cooking.
Hmm. Okay. So mixing room temperature does nothing. Mixing it boiling does nothing. Burning produces toxic fumes, but only the poison powder does. But doesn't produce anything dangerous when boiled, unless consumed in all likelihood. Hmm. And this is specifically not wood coal. This is earth coal.
Yeah, it's bituminous coal. It is not charcoal.
Hmm.
Yeah, like you know, it this is like what this type of coal looks like. It actually has a somewhat uh, mineral luster to it.
All right. I'll try burning it and the wood together. And what I'll do is I'll put a kind of cover over so that smoke, accumulates inside this cover, and hopefully some of the waste byproduct sticks.
Okay.
the byproduct that would accumulate there? Well, I should say, is there a byproduct that accumulates if I try to capture the smoke?
Yes, it would produce soot.
Okay. Does the soot look, smell, or taste similar to the poison powder?
No.
Starting with look and smell. Okay. So there's probably no connection in terms of them being different states. I'll feel around inside of the bins, and I'll lift up the bins. Is there anything beneath them?
Okay. Yeah. When you lift up the bins, no, there's nothing underneath them. Feeling in the bins. In the poison powder bin, towards the bottom, you do in fact feel something.
I take it.
All right. Yeah. You pull out. Just kind of shake it off. It felt odd because this is mostly like dust in there. It appears to be a single dark-colored seed.
What kind of seed?
Make a nature check.
Can I get guidance?
Sure.
It appears to be an apple seed.
So it's an apple seed in a bin of shit that smells like almonds.
Yes.
We got wood that smells faintly of apples. We got a fucking tree that smells faintly of apples. Were there any apples in the other room?
No. You mean the one with the dead trees and bushes?
The one where I took the heartwood?
Right, yeah, no.
Okay. So we got the weird powder, which probably comes from the seed. We've got the fucking tree and the coal. Can't grow anything out of this. Don't think they're gonna do anything with fucking wizardy bullshit. Can I make an Arcana check on if there's any tomfuckery going on here?
Can you define tomfuckery better? Like, what are you looking for here?
At this point, it's functionally a phone a friend question. Does Hebron have any loosely connected, disparate bits of information gleamed over a life of mostly being around wizards to have any clue or insight as to what the fuck is going on here?
Sure. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Mr. Grimm, can I get guidance?
Absolutely.
So, what you would know is apple seeds turn into apple trees, which can be cut down and turned into wood, And even in old times, it was known that coal, mineralized coal, is organic stuff that's really old. You guys still awake?
I'm still awake. I'm just thinking. Does the powder qualify as like by the understanding this time as being plant matter, or was it just be recognized as that?
Uh, you probably wouldn't recognize it as plant matter.
Okay. Um. Okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll take the wood. And I'll take the cyanide powder. I'm gonna put it into a fucking cooking bowl. I'll boil the water. I'll leave a lid on it so that pressure builds. And then we'll leave it to sit for. How long does it take to make coal out of like peat and organic material? A few million years. We'll take the longest fucking long rest in the world. We'll do this wizard shit the way it's supposed to be done.
So you're just gonna let it sit there and boil?
Yeah. Heat and pressure.
Okay. So what do you do then?
Time.
So you're sitting there watching it. It's beginning to boil.
Yeah, so I put the wood in it and the cyanide powder,
Uh
and I
huh.
close the lid.
Okay. And then,
I add time,
yeah, how long do you wait?
an hour.
Okay. So you guys wait an hour. Another short rest. The hour is passed.
I'll go check the door again.
Okay. Yeah, you head back out there. There are 4 lights.
Hmm.
Does anything happen to the wood and the cyanide?
No. I mean, they're boiling water. Like, you peek at the pot. I mean, it's still just boiling water. Actually, no. If you boil really old wood like that, it would probably turn. If I remember correctly, it starts to turn transparent. So you're like leaching all of the tannin out of the wood, like what remains of it. Or, sorry, not tannin, a lignin.
What do we use that for?
Aesthetics.
Like, how so?
People think it looks cool, but it doesn't really have any practical use.
Gilbert,
Yeah?
digging too deep.
You have any ideas then?
No, I haven't had any ideas since the very beginning, but you kept going, so I just let you go.
All right. Well, in that case, then, under, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to I'm going to take all the stuff. I'm going to mix it into a big pile. I'm just going to pour it all into a single thing. We'll put the coal on the bottom, pour the wood on, then pour the powder on.
Okay.
We're going to step out of the room. I'm going to throw alchemist fire on it. We're going to go and be productive.
Okay. So you basically empty out all the baskets into the center of the floor. You throw some alchemist fires. You know, there's fire, there's flame, there's light. You do notice that the door has 4 lights on it.
Uh, what?
Yeah, it's been like that.
Wait, it has ruffles?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I was about to say the answer is just to fucking light it on. What? All right. Well, I guess with that huge pile of burning shit in the background, I don't know. We go back to the tree room and go through the wood door.
Okay. So yeah, you guys go across the 100-foot room. Above, you can see a sky where you can't really see stars anymore, telling you that dawn is approaching. With all the short rest and the time you spent in here, you think you got maybe like an hour left in the before dawn. And you go to the dirt room. You can see the burned out remains of the fallen trunk on the left side as you walk in. To the right side, you can see a couple of dead bushes just sitting in the dirt. You're just walking over to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you guys walk over to the door. It is a closed wooden door.
Open and walk through like you own the place, Gilbert.
Yeah, that's the plan.
You open the door, revealing a 10-foot wide hallway leading south.
I proceed.
All right, yeah, you step into the eastern door and then turn to the south. After 30 feet, the 10-foot wide hallway opens up into a 30 by 30 foot room. The far side, you can see the hallway continues to the south. But in the middle of the room, on a plinth, are two stone statues. It appears to be a man and a woman intertwined. At the base of the plinth, like around the base of the plinth, you can see engraved text, large enough font that you can actually read it. It says, "Make us laugh, make us cry."
Your dick's short. Her best friend told me.
Make a performance check.
You actually want me to make a performance check on that? All right.
Have I healed yet? No.
You've had like 2 short rests since then. You could have
I
rolled hit
know,
dice.
Yeah, I know. Or took healing potions because I have both.
Okay. There is no reaction to your efforts, Grim.
Well, I'm not a comedian. It's understandable.
You say they're intertwined, yeah?
Yes.
I pull out a feather. I tickle the statue's feet.
Which one, the man or the woman?
Yes.
Okay. So you,
Fucking kidding me?
wow.
This is not my night, man. I have not rolled above a 10 this entire fucking night. This is not my night. I doubled the amount of hit points I had.
All right.
You want some healing potions?
Please. I spent 3 hit dice and got 12. Oh my god. 3 D10s with 6 added on and only got 12. There we
How's
go.
that?
That puts me at full. Thank you.
All right. Well, Hebron, I think that calls for a performance check for how well you can tickle the statues.
Dexterity-based performance check.
So you tickle. Which one do you tickle first? Like which a foot of the man or a foot of the woman?
Looks like the woman.
Okay. So you start tickling the woman's foot. You see the statue on the woman kind of pull into a rictus grin as the statue animates, almost dancing away from you as it heads to the eastern wall, where it just slams into the wall and becomes like a relief carving into it. But there's no cracking or anything. It just slams into it, and now there's like this relief carving of a dancing woman with a grin on her face.
Okay.
Do you then proceed to tickle the man's foot?
Well, no, I made one of the. Well, hmm.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, go
You know,
take that.
yeah. I have to make them laugh and make them cry. So yes, I'll also tickle the man's foot.
Okay. Well, that statue also animates as he takes a swing at you.
Turns out he wasn't ticklish.
Are we rolling an ish or just tries to punch me?
Well, are you going to fight back, or are you just going to take your lumps and back off?
I'll take my lumps.
Does an 18 hit you?
No.
All right, yeah, you just block the blow and kind of back off. The statue ceases its animation.
You know what? We'll take this another way. So I made one of them laugh, so I need to make the other one cry. And so I'll make it explicitly clear to the statue that it is now forever alone. Its companion is now naught but a relief on a wall, a hollow imitation of what it once was.
Well, make a performance check. The statue animates as it runs, shielding its face as if from all of you, as it just runs into the western wall opposite from the woman, hunched over. And as it slams into the wall, it just forms like a relief carving onto it of a man turned away in despair.
Well, now I just feel kind of bad.
You're doing all the roles today. You've been a wizard, you were just a bard.
I don't. Yeah, sure. So, what now, Under?
Well, you're in this room. To the east is a relief carving in the wall of a laughing woman. To the west, a man in despair. To the north is the hall that you came into this room from, and to the south, a 10-foot hall leads south, about 20 feet before turning to the west.
I go and check on the lights.
Okay, so you go back through the dirt room, across the spiraling spiraling stair room, and yeah, there are currently 5 lit stars.
All right. Go back to the statue room and walk through the doors.
Yeah, that's how you get to the statue room.
Yeah, I go to the statue room and go through the next set of doors.
Ah, okay, so you're going south to the hallway that then turns to the west.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no door in that direction that you see until you turn to the west, in which case you can see it goes another 20 feet and ends. This time in a closed iron door.
I open it.
Okay. This reveals a 40-foot by 40-foot room. On the opposite side, you can see a short 10-foot wide hall that looks to lead to another room. But this room has murals painted on all 4 walls of like hands. Left hands, right hands, human hands, hands that are obviously, abhuman. They've got like claws and stuff coming out of their fingertips. In the center of the room
I see Manos, the Hands of Fate.
No, I thought that would be a little too on the nose. Is a golden orb set on a pedestal.
I investigate.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Guidance?
Sure.
Hey. So, I mean, you look, these murals appear to be fairly well done, and they've held up well in the time that has gone on. But as you get closer, you realize that the golden orb isn't actually sitting on the pedestal. It is floating about, a quarter inch above it. Just sitting there, floating in the air above this pedestal. A smooth golden orb about 4 inches across.
Is there a hand below it on the pedestal?
There's not. The pedestal is really just like like a Greek Ionic pillar.
I high five a hand on the wall.
All right, yeah, you guys hear the slap as you just slap your hand on the wall. Nothing happens when you do that.
All right, I touch the ball.
All right, you touch the ball. And you have a gauntlet on your hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like this little tink sound as you touch the ball. As the hands on the wall begin crawling out of it. And you guys should roll initiative.
Hey, another nat 20. Fuck my luck. Are we about to get manhandled?
Oh, yeah. Oops. All right, Hebron. So yeah, you touch the orb, and these hands. There's really only one emerging from each wall. One to the north, one to the south, one to the west, one to the east.
Okay, am I able to move the ball?
Yes.
I pitch it at one of the hands.
Well, make your improvised attack roll. Okay. The hand dodges as the ball hits the wall behind it and bounces off. Into the southern wall. That hand successfully dodges the ball as it bounces off that wall. And heads for a party member. Giuseppe, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. As Hebron has pitched this golden orb at a hand, and he missed and hit the wall. It bounced, and now it's heading towards you.
Dexterity, you said?
Dexterity saving throw. All right, you managed to dodge it. So it keeps going across the room. Let's see, that would be, there's nothing there, so that's just another wall hit. And that's another wall hit. And that's going back towards the pedestal. And when it gets like right to the pedestal, it just stops. Floating there right where you pitched it from. It just suddenly comes to a stop. There's no deceleration or anything. It just stops right above the pedestal.
Cartoony slam on the brakes stops.
Yes. Anything else in your turn, Hebron?
I pitch it again. I got multi-attack.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Where are you pitching it?
The same hand.
Roll to hit. That one hit him. What is, let's see. So this would be that. So go ahead and roll a d8 plus your strength mod. And I'm sorry, you said you were pitching it towards the south one, right?
Yeah, whichever one I already previously pitched it at.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So it like hits that hand and just kind of blows through it. The hand seems to waver as if it is somewhat ethereal. And the ball that hits the wall behind him. And bounces right back through that hand. Which manages to actually dodge the ball as it then heads right back to the pedestal and stops. Anything else in your turn, Hebron?
No.
Okay. Grim.
All right. Do these hands look aggressive? Do they look like
Yes.
they're coming to attack us? Okay, nearest one to me.
That would be the one coming out of the east wall.
Distance?
5 feet.
Well, they seemed ethereal, so Sacred Flame, Dex save.
Oops, meant that to be a +2, so 14. Or 16.
Still not enough. That's a fail.
Yep. Roll damage.
8 radiant damage.
Alright, the radiant damage appears to be especially effective against this.
Wonderful. That's it for me.
Okay. The hands. Well, that hand's going to try to smack you, Grim. Like you ever play the original Super Smash Brothers on like the N64?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the hand and it's just backhanding you. Does a 12 hit you?
No.
Yeah, well, it missed. Let's see. The other hands. Well, that southern hand is going to fly forward and try to grab Hebron. I need you, Hebron, to make a dexterity saving throw. All right, you managed to dodge its grasp as the western hand flies up and is going to smack the ball at you. Does a 14 hit you, Hebron?
No.
All right, so you dodge the ball. It goes, past to the other side, which is going to be towards that wall there. Which bounces off at what appears to be an impossible angle. And the north hand, which hasn't moved yet, is going to have to make a dex save. And it dodges it. Goes across the room to the western wall. Bounces off that one to the southern wall, but the guy's not there. And that bounces back to the western wall. And back to the northern wall. And then back to the pedestal. Not actually passing through anybody that time. Let's see. Then we got the fourth hand. The fourth hand is just going to try to fly behind you, Hebron, and just smack you in the back. You know, hammer and anvil style. That is a 28 hit you.
Yeah.
All right, it hits you for 17 points of force damage.
Okay.
And that is it for them. Giuseppe.
All right, how many of them are?
There are 4 hands.
And what are we doing? Throwing things at them?
Well, they're throwing hands. We're also throwing hands.
Oh, okay, we're throwing hands. All right, well then I'm gonna throw a hand at a hand.
All right, which one?
I meant throwing hands like fist fighting, street fighting.
I got that. Yeah, I got that. I caught that. I'm gonna whip one of the hands. I'm gonna lash it.
So you're not cutting a hand off to throw at one of them?
No.
Okay.
No.
Will you end him rightly?
That's how you win this puzzle. You must become the captain of hooks.
So, Giuseppe, which hand are you attacking?
Which ones have we hit so far?
Well, there's the one that came out of the eastern wall that tried to smack at Grim. It missed. That's the one closest to you. The ones out of the north and south walls went for Hebron. Both of them. Well, the first one missed the grab, but the second one managed to smack him into the back. The western hand came up and hit the ball, but got unlucky with the bounces and didn't hit anything. So which one do you want to go for? Mister?
The left one.
The left one, so the western one.
Yeah.
All right, the one that hit the ball. Yeah, well, you can move up. It's about 20 feet would get you 10 feet away from him.
Okay. That puts me in range of any of the others?
It puts you in range of also the north and south one. But you'd be moving yourself out of range of the eastern one.
Is there a way I can get where I'm only in range of one of them?
Well, you start only in range of the eastern one.
Oh, well, then I'll hit the eastern one.
Oh, okay. Well, roll to hit then. Hit.
I mean, this is simple. But nobody else is in melee with it, right?
Grim is in melee with it.
Is this undead?
No.
Crap.
You did see me hit it with Radiant to great success.
Well, I only hit it for fucking 10 points. That's so fucked up. I have a +5. I roll a D8, a D6, and I have a 5, and I hit it for 10. All right.
Wait, we
Radiant
still on
damage.
initiative?
All right, well, your whip cuts through the hand, making it bloodied. Anything else, Giuseppe?
No, that's it. That's all I can do.
All right. I mean, Sleuth, if you want, you can roll initiative and get in on this. Hebron?
Guess I'll bring a knife to a fist fight.
Yeah, that's usually a good way to win.
Are they undead?
No. And you miss both of those.
All right. I step away, provoking attack of opportunity.
From both of them?
Never mind. I stay where I am.
Okay. Just, you've got like one behind you and one in front of you, so that's why I was clarifying.
Yeah, all good. I stay where I am.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
River?
Oh boy, I should probably get my feet loaded. We're still level 5, question mark. Not that it would make a difference for me, really.
I believe so.
I'm gonna stick my Drake on one of the guys in melee with Hebron and shoot the other.
Okay. Your Drake moves forward to engage the comically large hand.
Yeah, it turns out it took a little bit more time and a lot more alcohol than I thought to deal with my brother and his wife. But I won. The 2v1. But I will figure out where the hell my Drake sheet is. And where the hell my sheet is. Sharpshooter shot because let's go gambling. Um, da, da, uh, that doesn't look right.
You missed an
I
R.
forgot the second R.
So are you shooting at the northern or southern hand around by Hebron?
Let's go with north.
Okay.
19 on both.
Miss.
Understandable. And then the Drake is gonna try and grapple the southern hab,
Okay.
which I assume a size small Drake is gonna have disadvantage.
Yes. Yes, it would.
15.
Well, it manages to grapple the hand anyway.
Wonderful. That's gonna drag the hand just outside of melee range to not be threatening
Okay.
Hebron.
So it just drags it back north, I believe. Or, sorry, south.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
And that's it for me.
All right, Grim. The eastern hand in melee with you is bloodied.
All right. Deck save. Pass. So nothing happens. That's it for me.
All right. The hands. Well, we'll start with that eastern one. It is going to try and grab you. Grim, I need a deck save.
A dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. No, you managed to dodge it.
Nimble today.
Indeed. Indeed. Okay. Let's see. That was the east. Well, the southern hand is going to smack the Drake. That has it grappled.
It may certainly try. 14 misses.
Okay. The northern hand is going to try and grab Hebron. I need a deck save from Hebron. As it grapples you. And begins squeezing. And then the western hand... Well, it's going to smack that gold orb in the center, and it's going to try to target River with this one. Oh, boy.
Crazy, but I think a natural one might miss my armor
Yeah.
class of 18.
Yeah, no,
We're playing dodgeball in a bouncy room.
Uh-huh. So it misses you widely and ends up actually hitting the hand that's in melee with Grim. And it hits him full on, that hand. Let's see. That hand takes 6 points of force damage. And
Give
then,
them credit for that damage.
then passes through and hits the wall. D4. A normal bounce. So I need then another deck save from Grim, as it is now bouncing off the wall and coming towards you.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm causing all kinds of trouble
All
just
right.
by getting shot at.
Yeah, you managed to dodge the ball. It is a lot easier to avoid getting hit if you're not the original target and just trying to dodge the bounces. Which then goes towards the southern wall. And let's see, there's no one there, so I'll just hit the wall. It bounces off that direction. I need a deck save from the Drake.
Drake.
Yes.
Huh. Where is the Drake stat block? My spell list. There we go. Does a nat 1 pass with the 6?
No. The Drake is beamed right into the side and takes 30 points of force damage.
That is the Drake's health pool and a half.
Yeah. It then bounces off the Drake, having eliminated it. Normal bounce, which is going to actually go towards the hand that the Drake was grappling. Which gets passed right through for 17 points of force damage. Which bloodies that southern hand. Then hits the wall. The impossible bounce, which goes that way. And that actually will pass right between Giuseppe and Heberon and hit the northern wall. And at that angle, that actually sends it whipping. Heberon, it basically comes towards you, passes like right by your left side, hits the wall behind you, bounces down, comes right past you on the right side, and comes to a stop on the pedestal. It missed you by inches on both directions.
All this collateral damage that could have been avoided if River just didn't duck.
No, if it had hit you, it would have bounced off you. It was still going to bounce.
Yeah, but it would have bounced somewhere else, which would have been a problem for some other people. At that point, it would have been River's concern, because it wouldn't have been bouncing at River or her Drake.
Right.
That's the word.
But that is all 4 hands. Giuseppe.
I attack!
Which one?
The same one I attacked earlier.
All right, the bloodied eastern hand. Roll to hit. Miss.
Just a miss?
Yeah, it has a higher AC than 14. Anything else?
Alright, no, that's
All right.
fucking all I can do.
Heberon, I believe you got grabbed by a hand.
Mm-hmm.
So at the start of your turn, you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. And you may proceed.
Stab, stab.
I assume you're stabbing the guy holding you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you hit him twice. Once is a crit.
Action surge, stab, stab.
Okay. And the 22 hits.
So 3 hits total.
3 hits total. One of those 3 hits is a crit.
All right. Here's the first hit.
All right, well, that 19 will bloody it.
There's the next hit.
And the hand is destroyed. Nicely done.
That's my turn.
Okay, I'm guessing that was second wind.
Yeah.
All right. River.
What's the most beat up hand remaining?
Well, both the eastern hand that Grim and Giuseppe are engaging and the southern hand that your Drake had been dragging are bloodied. The western hand that smacked the ball is unhurt.
We'll go with southern hand and just finish that off. Let's go gambling, sharpshooter shot. 1825.
The 25 hits.
That's a D8, not a D20. My brain is working today. 22 non-magical piercing damage.
All right, it is near death.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. Grim.
Nearest
This-
hand to me.
The same one you're still in melee with.
I tickle it with the local flame of sacred. Dex save.
Believe that fails, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, roll it.
10 radiant.
Yeah, it appears to be especially effective as the hand evaporates.
Evaporating hands. That's it for me.
All right. The hands. Well, that southern hand is going to fly forward up to you, River, and try to smack you around. Does a 14 hit you? Sleuth?
Sorry, what was that?
Does a 14 hit you?
No.
All right. Let's see. And then that western hand is going to start playing dodgeball again. Let's see. It's going to smack it. Well, Hebron's right there, and it just killed a hand. It'll smack it at Hebron.
Hit. It.
Oof.
Yeah, that hits.
Yep. Is it crits you with the dodgeball? Dodgeball has a special property, however. It cannot critical hit. It hits you, but it does not double damage.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Function of the way it always operates at like the same speed, so if you get hit by it, it only does a certain amount of damage. So you take 24 points of force damage as it bounces off of you.
I'm unconscious.
Okay. Bounces off that way, hits the western wall. Possible bounce is actually going to head towards the western hand. Which dodges. North wall. That bounce, which will then hit the east wall. That bounce. And that is actually going to end up intersecting with Giuseppe. I'm going to need Giuseppe, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw. As Grim is just standing there, the ball basically just bounces around you.
I'm just imagining it like a Tron Legacy frisbee.
Exactly. That is basically how this is working. Is Giuseppe just barely manages to dodge the ball as it hits the southern wall. and bounces and goes back to the pedestal. Giuseppe, it is your turn.
I'm gonna hit the thing again.
Well, the one you were hitting is gone.
Hit another one.
Yeah, there's a near-death one that's in melee with River, and the western one which is unhurt but has been playing dodgeball this whole time.
I'll hit the one with River.
Okay, roll to hit. Hit.
$22 points of radiant and slashing damage.
Yeah, you just hit it, and there's a flashing, you just blow this hand away. It is gone. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Alright. Hebron, death save. Alright, it's a pass. A River.
How far is Hebron from me?
10 feet.
Wonderful. I'm gonna step over and bonk him on the head with the cure wounds. And my dog is eating my garbage again. I will have to fight her in a second. Hebron, 8 health.
Alright, Hebron, you wake up
Alright.
with 8 hit points and a level of exhaustion. Anything else, River?
That's my turn.
Alright, Grim.
Can I touch Hebron?
If you move over to him, yes.
Will I be taking opportunity attacks if I do that?
No.
Okay.
It is 25 feet of movement to get to Hebron from your position.
Okay, doke. Cure wounds. First level spell scroll. 9, Hebron.
Alright,
Thank you.
put 9 more in there. Anything else?
That was a scroll and an action.
Yes.
So no.
Okay. The Western Hand. He's going to smack the dodgeball. And he's going to try to smack you at Grim. I think he misses you, Grim.
Yes.
Yeah, go to the far eastern wall. Boink.
You double that and still miss me.
Let's see. So that bounces there. That would then bounce across, hitting nothing. To that wall, which bounces and hits the southern wall. Which has the impossible bounce, which goes back. That's hilarious. It's going to hit the hand. The hand dodges, hits the north wall. And bounces back to the pedestal. Giuseppe?
All right, my turn.
Yeah, there's one hand left.
Let's get it.
Alright. You can easily take 20 feet of movement. You'd be within 10 feet of the hand. That does not hit the hand, however.
Shit. I'm done.
Alright. Hebron, you are on the ground with your 17 hit points. What do you do?
Stand up and stab.
Alright, yeah, you stand up and run forward. No hits.
Alright, that's it.
Alright, River.
Let's go gambling.
You're going to hit the dodgeball?
Yeah, sharpshooter shots.
At the dodgeball or the hand?
Is there a difference?
Yes. The dodgeball is a 4-inch diameter golden orb floating in the center of the room above a pedestal. The hand is the creature that has been smacking it at you guys.
I'm tempted to say the dodgeball, but I'm gonna go with the hand for now.
Okay. Roll to hit then.
No, I forgot the number of dice rolls.
2
22
hits.
on both. That is 46 non-magical piercing.
All right, the hand is near death. Went from unhurt to near death from those 2 blows. Anything else?
That is my turn.
All right, Grim.
How does Eberron look?
Bloodied still?
More coupons. Good coupon.
All right, so you move up and smack him with the Cure Wounds.
Well, it's still standing by him.
He moved.
Quit fucking moving around. Yeah, I move up.
Well, stabbing a dude takes time and effort.
Not if you use a
That's it for
crossbow.
me.
All right, the hand. Well, let's see. So if you'll moved up to melee, then it's just going to smack Heberon. He tried to stab the hand.
It's a weenie and it can't touch me.
16. I don't think it can. You're prostic.
Well, I can't believe it's being so.
Well, you also can't hit it, and then it's not going to repulse you.
I can't believe that's such a weenie that's ignoring the archer that's in melee with it.
I forgot you had moved up.
I'm also a healer.
Yeah, well, no, I totally would have gone for you if I'd remembered that, but I didn't. Giuseppe. So you guys just pile onto this hand, but you're missing it.
Of course I'm missing it. I barely hit. I'm done.
All right, Heberon.
All right.
Two hits. All right. So as you destroy the last hand, the golden orb falls, hitting the pedestal. Oh, okay. Make a let's call this a athletics check. Just reach out and grab it. It slips through your fingers and like hits the top of the pedestal.
Dramatic fumble.
Yeah, like you reach out to grab it, just goes right between your hands, hits the pedestal, and so you just kind of like slap your hands down on top of it as you guys hear boing. There's like kind of like that rapid bounce at the end as you're just holding it there down on the pedestal. As you're handling, you realize it no longer seems to have like the whatever was allowing it to levitate so easily, and in fact appears to be a hollow, like from the sound it's obviously hollow, golden orb worth about 1,000 gold pieces.
Man, if only I made my golden orb 1,000 gold pieces.
Right?
I would like to.
How many
slow
extra
clap.
decimal places?
How many what? Sorry?
I
Say
think the
again,
question
Gilbert?
was how many extra decimal places?
Yeah, how many extra decimal places? You used a
1,000,000
1,000
and
gold
1,000?
ball on us, and I used a
3?
1,000,000 gold ball on you.
Well, 2.1 or 1.9, but yeah. A factor of 3.
Well, the difference is mine is hollow. It's also only 4 inches in diameter.
I know, I just find that funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you're sitting there holding your no longer magical ball, I think that is where we will call it this evening.
Alright,
I would like to use my last reaction and my last full round action to slow clap sarcastically for Hebron.
I have to ask, because the puzzle's currently on fire. What was the solution to the wood, coal, and cyanide